Mom, this is important to me. We never cancel game night.
Hey, okay. God, you sound just like you did when you were 10. It was that tone of voice that made it easy for me to leave, you know?
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, fucking hell. Do it.
Damn it, I wanted this movie to take a turn so bad. Hey, my name's Jeremy. I'm 1/3 of the Ruiners crew, and with me, as always, is my lovely assistant, Ryan, who is also 1/3 of the Ruiners crew.
Hey, what's up?
That's Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
That's his voice. That's him. You did it! He's here!
This is me. This is me talking.
Yeah, and today we got another guest with us to watch a movie and then talk about the movie that we just watched together. And it's my buddy Brandon Dayton, who now, do you just go by ReddX, or do you have some sort of like crazy Mr. X pseudonym?
Yeah,
What do
you could
do?
call me Red, you could call me Mr. X. Mostly you just call me Dayton, that's fine. Most people know my real name on that channel anyways.
Can I call you Dr. Red?
Well, we do science on Neckbeardery, and that's what we was doing today, sitting down to watch a little movie about a failure of a human being who basically remained a failure of a human being.
ReddX, if you want to check out his channel, Dayton specializes in, I guess you'd call it what, Neckbeard curator? You're a Neckbeard curator?
It started with neckbeards, now it's general cringe content, but there is one neckbeard story every day and one something else every day, so variety cringe.
You got to feed that machine.
That's
Just tossing neckbeards into the grinder.
I mean,
I know, the classic meme pictures of neckbeards being, big fat guys in trilbies, and they're eating chicken tenders, and they do the milady thing. I know, yeah, sorry, I'm not using the vernacular.
Chicken tendies.
Give me 10 days!
I can't do it. But anyway, we picked this movie pretty much because we figured you would be more or less an expert on the subject.
It's called Zero Charisma. It came out in 2013. Was directed by some guy. I don't know.
well, he wasn't rich because he needed crowdfunding.
So we've started a tradition of putting all the pressure on the guest. You get to pick the movie that we watch, but also you have to be the guy to explain the plot. You're probably going to have an easier time with this, though, than Nico did with Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, this was a fairly straightforward movie. I mean, there's a guy, he works at a taco donut shop, and his entire life revolves around playing D&D with his friends. He's had a campaign going for 3 years. One of his friends drops out due to issues with his wife, and this starts the whole avalanche of his life basically falling apart. They pull in this other dude who's like super cool hipster nerd guy, and basically all his friends gravitate towards that dude. His mom comes back in because his grandma had a stroke, and she's like, oh, I need to sell the house to impress this dude that I'm dating. And oh God, the fucking grandma lets it happen, which is the most enraging thing of all. So the dude like loses his house, loses his friends, basically sees the only way out as like going to challenge this new cool hipster guy to a duel. And so he fucking shows up. I'm pretty sure the hipster dudes were like making fun of him because they've all got their video cameras out and shit, and they're like encouraging him to duel this dude. The friends end up coming back to him kind of, but the house ends up getting sold. And I mean, they tried to do a redemption arc in like the last fucking 10 minutes, and it just totally fell on its face. Like, it's basically, oh, he's working at the retirement home that his grandma's in now, and he's playing D&D with the old people as like their recreational activity or some shit. But he's still like bossing him around and being a piece of shit, just like he was to his friends earlier, who, as I mentioned, supposedly came back into the fold, but we never saw them again. So like, once these old people die, he's gonna like come into work with a Kalashnikov and shoot everybody that didn't want to play D&D with him. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, so you motherfucker, you wanna get
This is me when I drive.
give you a game to play, motherfuckers? Yeah, I'll show you.
He is gonna kill people. That's how this is gonna end, isn't it?
They make you feel bad for him throughout almost all of the movie. You kind of see like hints of where he's gone wrong, and he just refuses to just get real with himself and like, humble himself even a little bit. It would have been a shame if he had used that morning star that he had under the coffee table to
brain his
just
mom.
or just anybody at all, and there was a kind of a fear that was going to happen, maybe something like that, but it didn't. I was going to ask you though, you said that like they kind of gave him a redemption arc a little bit too late. I don't even know if you could call it that, a redemption arc, because he just didn't do anything crazy at that time. Where did the redemption part come in?
Well, I mean, I'm saying it as like, as a producer, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, we got to have this story come back around and shit. Personally, I didn't see a redemption arc. There was fucking a cut, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm a different person now, but not really. You know what I mean? It makes the ending of the movie like definitively the worst part. Like, I was enjoying myself right up until the end. I'm like, I know it's coming. I know they're going to try and make him, better, quote unquote better, but what the fuck happens? Exhausting.
Well, the thing I would say is that you're wrong. They did give him a redemption arc.
That 10-minute redemption
not for no, but not for a normal person.
Are you talking
like
about
normal people
where he admitted the truth to his friend who just saved him?
Yes.
How is that any different than earlier points in the movie where he was telling his friends that he didn't like them or like their stuff? That's not a redemption arc. That's just his friend not being observant enough to know the obvious thing that he was doing the whole time.
He only did that so people could laugh at it.
Wasn't that the point? It was like a comedy.
That's not true. Why would anybody laugh at it?
Oh.
Because it's awful.
Scott.
And I'm only saying this because I'm your friend and I don't like to see you made fun of.
No, what I mean is, I don't mean like for you or me that like this is adequate as a redemption arc. I mean, for the people that wrote the movie, they were like, no. He told his friend that he just wanted him to be like a loser like him.
I guess that's character growth or development or whatever.
Because I needed someone to be more of a loser than me.
And I'm sorry. Fucker.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
He better say he's sorry, or else none of this means anything.
Is that the bar that we're going to set it at? You know what I mean? I can't accept that as being like, well, this is a good movie with a fine ending. It was a good movie. It had funny points and, characters, and the comedy was built on the characters instead of being just dicks and shit.
It could have been really good, though.
But yeah, it could have been great, and it wasn't.
It feels like the climax happens way too late in the movie. Like, there's 10 minutes left, and we still need at least 25 to actually get him to a person that I might respect. The climax is him going to the like hipster dude's house, and then it almost looks like he's starting to chill out.
Wow, he's drinking.
Maybe he's just gonna like be cool now. Nope, he looked fucking psycho. Fuck.
See, what I would have wanted right then and there is for them to have like a legitimate confrontation between the two of them. And also it kind of comes to light in front of everybody that this dude isn't as cool as, his friends have been. Mm. But then between the two of them, they have some sort of resolution between them. And hey, maybe they get the game back together and they start like working together on something like that.
Yeah,
and
he takes feedback and
that wouldn't
takes
work.
it on
yeah,
board.
and he starts to check himself and like becomes a fucking better person, and then you fucking end the movie.
But that wouldn't work.
Would have worked a lot better than what we got.
I mean, that's true, I guess. No, but I mean, like, the hipster dude, he needed to go there and challenge him. And then essentially, the hipster dude's girlfriend needed to, like, go out with Scott.
What?
No.
Like they needed.
What are you talking about, dude? No.
Bro.
Never in life.
Yeah.
No.
The logo on your right hand is greater than that of your left, which means you're a romantic at heart. Is that true?
Yeah. Scott, did you hear this? What?
Are they trying to just make like nerds look bad? Or like just this guy look bad? Because even in the end, he's still bad. Like he's not a good person.
Well, I mean, his friends were nerds too, and they never really looked bad.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think any of them were necessarily in the wrong. They were all, I mean, all of their feelings were valid. I would have fucking unfriended this dude a long time ago.
I really did enjoy the movie up until the end.
We usually start off with the higher points, but while you were giving the plot away, you had to immediately talk about why it dropped the ball completely.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
I was sitting outside having a smoke after we watched it. And I'm just like, I think I really didn't like that. Like there was a lot of stuff that I did like, you know, the humor definitely big in the plus box.
I'm getting a lawyer and I'm suing your asses. And maybe I'll have you declared incontinent for good measure.
Incontinent.
She pees her pants all the time. Oh, he's got a roll for it. And the acting, pretty good. The fucking guy who plays Scott, pretty damn good.
Yeah, and just the general characterization was good too. That's where all the comedy came from.
I fucking love the moments where he's like sitting in his room playing with the miniatures and you have like this really intense close up on his face and like you kind of get into his head in that moment. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, it's weird, but I can buy it, you know? And I think that's like when he's at his most human. He's one of them middle-aged neckbeards, you know, and it's not super common, obviously, but yeah, it happens.
Well, late in the life for them, relative, because they live dog years or something, don't they?
So Mountain Dew and Cheetos will do to you, man.
Whoops.
Knock!
Sorry, I thought this was a bathroom.
Maybe I don't mean to be like racist against neckbeards here. Like I feel a strong closeness to who they are. I'm telling you, watching this movie, I got a lot of, this is how me and my friends were in high school to different degrees.
Well, I mean, don't feel like you're attacking anybody because at the end of the day, it is like, you know, we're not sitting here saying, oh, I hope they die and shit. It's like, you want the best for them. You know, you see that they're still human underneath. You just want to get some of that Cheeto dust off and bring the human side out and have him be like functional within society and stuff like that.
For the fucking Scott guy, I wanted him to sell his game.
Yeah.
Like that would have been better.
He had to hit that humility moment, I think, a little bit earlier or a little bit harder than he did. And I guess it's good enough, the moment in the car when he's with his buddy. God, what was his name? Shit. The little fucking Michael Cera looking
guy.
fucker.
The zip popper man.
Zit boy.
Come on, I'm not going to walk around with that on your face. Come on.
Oh, wait, my glasses.
Wayne.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Scott.
I guess it's okay. It was a good start, but he just didn't finish that sentence with that little phrase that he needed to it's so easy to do.
Yeah,
and that's
all he had to say was, "It's your fault."
Yeah.
I blame you for everything.
I mean, at least, like, if they just went the other route where he became more shut in and reclusive, that would have been something.
If they had started early with the downward spiral and like things get bad and worse, and you have like a big moment to, like, let's say Nana actually dies, which, by the way, I don't think we brought up Nana yet, but
No, Nana's the best.
Yeah,
She's
my
the greatest.
favorite character in the movie.
You wish.
she's a fucking G, man. Can't say shit against Nana. She's too real.
In a dark tower to the east, from whence she commands her bloodthirsty troops. By night, she terrorizes the countryside, disguised as a wildebeest. What?
Come here and open this jar.
I like how he's literally 5 feet away. She still screams.
Too tight.
It could have went a darker direction, and that would have been fine. But I just don't think they prepped enough in the beginning for that to happen.
No, he didn't crash hard enough or fall far enough. He should have been living in his car for like the last half of the movie or something.
This is my house and my kitchen, and I'll come into it whenever I damn well please.
Okay.
And you can take the fucking nerd herd someplace else if you don't like it. Put that stuff back in the
Damn, you got bitch.
Wish I could twist her neck like this mayo.
It was frustrating with how it went. Just so middle of the road. I guess they were trying to, like, you know, not ostracize anybody or hurt any feelings, but I mean, if you want to make fucking art, like, that's not what art is about, you know? Go the full 9. Who gives a shit?
Are you talking about him committing a murder, or are you talking about
Either way it went, I just want to see it go 100%. And this was like, oh, well, you know, if we go too far, then people will say we're against nerd culture and whatever. And if we give him the redemption arc, then, you know, people might think that
Yeah, then they'll feel bad about themselves,
Yeah.
maybe.
something like
Like,
that.
oh, well, I still live with my grandma. Like, oh, I didn't get the girl in the end. You know, oh, I didn't get the house. I didn't sell my game. I'm not as good as this guy. And
Word.
it feels like they went a route that was the least offensive to the most amount of people.
If you're going to have the fall, then pick him back up. Like, pick him all the way back up. But if you're going to have the fall and let him drop, then let him fucking drop all the way. But this one was just kind of...
Yeah, it would just induce something from people who watch it stronger than mere pity.
Yeah, feel something.
Feel something aside from disappointment?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the movie, I almost immediately kind of felt bad for him because he just seems so out of touch. And he could have been living like a pretty good, happy life if he just had any grasp of like how to interact with people and not be so fucking selfish. So I think the name of the movie is pretty solid.
He does indeed have 0 charisma.
Technically, he doesn't have any stats because he's the GM.
All right.
He has the stats of whatever character he's voicing.
I'm the stat man. There, now put that song in.
That wasn't the whole song. That was just you saying, I'm a stat man.
As far as like strong points go, I really do like how they, open the movie, introduce his character. I mean, you really did get into the dude's head. Maybe it's just because I roll around in Neckbeard content all day, but like it helps me see inside through his eyes, you know?
Both of you guys were talking like you know people who are like this, though. So it's got to be more than just you doing... Oh, see, that's kind of what I wanted to get at. Like, where's the separation between you and the Neckbeard, Dayton?
Right around the chin line.
I'm pretty far from neckbeardery, all things considered, but it's like, you know, look at what I do with my free time. You know, I play in a D&D group with my Discord people. I play like so much Switch that when I have the time that, I lose track of time and I'm like, oh, fuck, now I got to make some YouTube content. But, yeah, I mean, there's different levels of neckbeardery. This is like the hardest case. I really wish we would have got some more with like the friends, you know, so we could kind of see what level they're at. And there's also the only one we really got was what's his name, Miles, and you know he's a very Neckbeard light. You know, I'd say I'm about at that level, right? Not trying to be cool and fucking whatever. Impress people for the sake of it.
Oh, not the hipster guy.
But yeah, I
Miles
mean,
isn't the Chris Hardwick stand-in? I thought
No, yeah, Miles is the hipster guy.
yeah.
You threw me off for a second. You mean Wayne,
No, I'm talking about Miles.
the hipster guy.
I would
Miles
say-
was totally trying to be cool, though, dude.
Yeah.
No, I would say my level of neckbeardery would be similar to Miles. You know, I do enjoy a lot of nerdy stuff, but I still have a functional life outside of that, except for the fact that I don't care about, trying to be popular or impress anybody because I'm fucking 30 years old and I'm a social hermit.
You never met the Wachowskis or went snowboarding with
Joss
Whedon?
Whedon.
With Joss Whedon. Oh, fuck. Yeah,
Chris Hardwick was like, throw that in there. I did that.
Yeah, we jumped out of a helicopter. It was great.
Pride is a big thing about neckbeards. I mean, when I read neckbeard stories on the channel, people will be like, I don't know if this guy's a neckbeard or not. And the two criterion that I have are pretty simple, all things considered. It's like, one is a sense of entitlement, which he does. He feels entitled to other people, his friends, his grandma's house. You know what I mean? And then the second thing is delusions of grandeur, which obviously he feels as well. Like,
oh, yeah.
he just thinks he's the fucking king of the universe despite his, do-nothing life.
It's clearly just this turtle shell armor that he's wearing, though, because the reality is he does know where he is, and he does feel like a loser, and he's trying to, like, see something of himself reflected in the Gary Gygax stand-in, Dakin Matthews.
Yeah.
Who's been in every movie and TV show ever. Man, it's like you said, Ryan. I really wanted him to, like, have his game set up, achieve something like that,
Yeah. I mean, but that's hard to do when, like, the main trait of your main character is narcissism. Like, that's basically what he's just a narcissist.
As most neckbeards are.
Well, it's like you said. Eventually, he's going to blow off Esmeralda's head while she's, like, working her bingo cards because she didn't show up to the game last week.
Yeah, you're an integral part. You're our cleric. We can't play without you. You have to die, you dumb bitch.
I don't know. Maybe if they stuck with the ending for a little bit longer, like, had the same more or less ending, but showed us a little bit more.
There's a lot that could have been cut out of the movie. Like, what the fuck was up with his job? He's, like, got this Asian woman yelling at him and he's saying shit, and we never revisited the job.
It's just to illustrate how pathetic he is,
Yeah, and from there he does go to the game store that he got fired from or whatever, but it seems kind of superfluous. Like, you could have cut that out to get more ending in.
I wanted him to get the job at the game store again.
Yeah, that was to set up a plot point about him being snubbed to become, like, the manager of the store or whatever the fuck. Because they ordered from that place because they know he delivers. So the guy was doing it on purpose because he knew he would show up.
Right.
And he'd be like, oh,
it's you again.
I forgot that you're the one who does it. And he's like, I'm the only one. So he could rub it in his face that, hey, I'm better than you.
So does this movie portray, like, all nerds horribly?
Well, no, like I said, I think his friends, maybe it's just because we didn't see very much of them, but they seemed like, nice enough guys. They just seemed like regular guys.
Yeah, there was no character development there.
Well, the only development really at all is that they immediately moved to the hipster guy just because he was nice.
They don't need to have a lot of character development, though. They're supporting characters. Like, it's fine. But I'm just saying, what we see of them in the movie, they seemed like pretty, normal nerd guys. It's your typical average guys who live average lives, but also are into nerdy shit. Like, even the thing, I didn't think the thing in the beginning about the guy taking time to play his games, and so now he has to work on his relationship with his wife. Like, I didn't even see that as, like, a thing that was, like, trying to say, oh, look, see, this is how playing games are poisonous and being a nerd is poisonous. There's no way the Nerdist is going to support a movie that makes fun of people who would spend money on loot boxes and collectibles and so on and so forth.
You don't think they subtly hate their audience? Just very subtly.
No, they secretly hate their audience like every other famous entity in the world.
No, I kind of feel like that's just the first thread that's being pulled to dismantle his whole life, where he doesn't see this other person as a person with a life, just as someone to play the game with.
NPC! Borger's the Mighty's fucking dead!
which is what you're saying about when he guns down Esmeralda at our fictitious end.
No, it's just his
Where it's
eventual end.
you-
It's just what's going to happen
Yeah.
at some point in the future.
Yeah, we cut the
He's
movie
putting
before
that
that
cold
happened.
steel in his mouth. I wish at the end they just showed the dice roll at the end, and
Yeah.
he rolls a 20, and then
And he shoots him in the fucking
begrudging. No, he hits him with that Morning Star.
Yeah.
He just still has it. No, but like, and he begrudgingly is like, fine.
Yeah.
I still agree with him when he rolled that 4, and he was like, oh, it's a 14, so now let's keep
Yeah,
going.
but he was
And
clearly
then the dude's
lying just because he
girlfriend-
was trying to like do a one-up. Trust me, what the dude was doing in the first place was absolutely shitty. If that's what you're going to say, I absolutely I
That's
agree.
what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So he's the GM, and he goes, no, you're not ruining my campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those guys had egos. They were just coming from a different
Yeah.
direction of the power hierarchy, whatever you want to fucking call it.
He met his he meted his match. He matched his meat, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And then they had to have a crutch fight.
Yes! Thank you, Kevin.
They should have had some sort of nerd, like what do we call it? A DM
DM off.
death match? Yeah.
Oh, DM deathmatch. That's
Yeah.
fucking nice. I'm
Or
gonna
GM,
attend.
I guess. Yeah.
No, DM. It fits the alliteration better. We got to do it. If you are the fucking DM and you're really set on railroading your players into a certain path, like, yeah, you should be able to fudge your roll. That's why you roll behind the fucking screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're allowed
But then why even bother with dice at that point?
because you're still going to play the game, but if there's a very specific thing, like that guy clearly, he sniffs it out right away. No, you're just going to fight him because you're being an asshole.
Yeah.
Phoenix,
Yeah.
which is the source of
Fuck this. Let's kill the guy and take the stones.
You can't do that. He's a good guy.
He's a dick. I'm gonna throw my sword at him.
If he just handled it like cool, like what he was trying to do, and then just lie and move on.
You know what I wanted? I wanted for what was her name? The girlfriend.
Your sister,
Yeah, what's my sister's name again?
Kendra.
Kendra.
Yeah, I really wanted Kendra to give him a break because she sensed that these two guys, like, she can smell the disgusting musk of testosterone in the room. You know?
Yeah.
She should have just let him have it and then like talk to him later.
Yeah.
And then
said something later.
That sets up Miles to be more of an asshole because he goes, "Oh, really? I knew he did." And then they have like a real like confrontation later.
Yeah, that's still about like a nerdy thing. She should have seen it behind the screen and then talked to Scott later and been like, hey, man, I saw that. And then he goes, he's trying to ruin the campaign. And she's like, no, he isn't. Blah, blah, blah. He's just trying to have fun and stuff. And he's like, bro, but he totally is. And then Miles and her have a conversation. And he goes, yeah, I knew he was. And and then he comes off as an asshole, dismissing her.
And then she blows the
And
fat
then she
guy.
falls in love with Scott. See? Perfect.
Got him.
All right, you win. Everybody blows the fat guy.
Yeah. And Wayne jumps on. The whole gang shows up. Even the guy from the beginning who has a wife, he's like, I've been gay the whole time. I'm
Yeah,
back.
and then he clutches his dickhead and says, "I'm gonna treat you like a pimple."
Oh, I was going to do
Fucking disgusting. I hate your movie idea, Ryan.
no, he has to do an agility roll. You know what I mean?
Jesus, roll acrobatics.
I rolled a 69.
You don't have that many die. Oh,
It's a D100. I have one. Okay.
D100 percentile is the best way to play, okay?
what else did you guys like about the movie? Let's keep talking about stuff we liked.
Well, I guess I like that I don't have any complaints about like set design. Like sets were pretty good and all his little miniatures and his posters in his room. And it felt like they were just in somebody's house.
True.
Which I kind of feel like they were. that close up when he's playing with the things and then the music's playing, he's doing that thing, that like Kubrick stare where he looks down and you're kind of like looking up at his face while he's looking down and his mouth is open. He's kind of doing
I'd
that.
like to see him shot from below with the camera up high, because then we're going with the psychopath angle, right?
Oh, I was going to say it's more of a like he's really like, look at me, I'm God. I am the GM.
No, he's definitely doing that. That is exactly what they're trying to convey in the scene. But I'm just thinking of the director's cut, the alternate ending that we know exists, but they just cut it out. Decides that nobody's good enough to play in his game after all. The whole world's been a game the whole time.
I just want him to like make his own barbarian suit or something.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and he's a knight of circuitry.
Oh, God. That was about the cringiest name they could have come up with.
Oh my God, he takes the brain jack out of his cerebellum and looks around and he's covered in goo. And he's like, yes, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
I knew it.
Oh, shit. See, there could have been a lot of ways to go.
Yeah, maybe that was an extra Kickstarter package that they didn't quite.
Oh,
yeah, they didn't meet that goal.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they didn't do some weird interdimensional stuff.
That might have been cool.
I kind of felt like they were going to go that way, where they were going to end up in medieval times or something.
That would have been cool if they started it like way early in the movie.
I also appreciate that they had Wayne basically be the guy who saves the fucking day in the end. It was a pleasant surprise that I didn't expect that he jumped on Miles's back like that.
You could have replaced Wayne with a golden retriever, honestly.
It would have done a better job.
I would have loved to see a golden retriever giving him a back rub. You're trying to pop a pimple on a golden retriever.
Now we're getting deep. Oh, it's good.
Okay, would you guys recommend Zero Charisma to people to watch?
Oh, man.
Go ahead, Dayton, you're the guest.
I'll go first.
No!
I have a pretty... All right,
Holy
fine.
shit.
Whatever, man.
It's a lot of tension here. Are you like Wayne and you're like
I'm
Scott,
the GM.
right?
Yeah. You're like Scott and I'm like Wayne.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
I want to be Kendra.
Yeah, the difference is you ask me to pop your pimples and I refuse.
So, recommending the movie? Yes or no? I'm going to say if you're into nerd culture, yes. If you're a regular ass person, you'll probably be extremely enraged that you wasted an hour and a half with it. Most of the movie is good. I did enjoy the character study. I did enjoy the humor. It's a bit of a mess, but I'm going to go ahead and recommend it if you can enjoy it ironically.
Okay, Ryan. Yes or no?
Oh, now I can go?
Yeah, it's your turn now.
Oh.
I've rolled the die.
Okay.
You've made the charisma check.
Hold on, I got to roll.
Good thing you put that extra point in.
What's your armor class?
3.
Okay, you're good. You hit. Go ahead.
Okay.
Magic missile.
Make an agility save or you're dead.
I rolled a 20. Anyway. No, yeah, I pretty much agree with what you said. It's a pretty good movie. I mean, if you're not into like nerdy stuff, I think it's still like decent. It doesn't hang its hat, so to speak, so hard on needing to know nerd stuff. They do talk about nerdy things, but
yeah, that's true.
It's not necessarily the main point. Like if this were a movie about scientists becoming friends with other scientists and they were talking about science that I don't understand, I could still understand the conflict they're having. But overall, I would say, yeah, I mean, it's worth a shot. And yeah, add the ending where he kills all the old people and you're good to go.
Okay. Well, I agree with you whenever you said that if you're just a regular person who isn't really into nerd stuff, there's enough charm in the characters themselves that you'd still enjoy it. So I agree with you on that point. And I would recommend this movie. I think I probably liked it more than you guys. I was disappointed, sure, but like I think overall it's pretty solid.
I could say it's solid. I mean, not great, average, but yeah,
okay. So we have a 5 diaper system here on the WeRuinMovies.com.
I wanted to
whatever
add
the
one
fuck
more
we
thing.
are now. What?
I wanted to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
If you see the poster for the movie and you notice that the font is Iron Maiden font,
yeah,
then you're probably fine. You can watch the movie and you'll be okay.
Sure.
Like if you see the poster and you go, that looks fucking stupid and I hate everything about it, then obviously you're not going to be into the movie.
But if you're listening to Kirith Ungol right now and you've got a battle axe hanging in your bedroom, you might want to watch this movie. Maybe it'll hit some chords with you.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a mirror into your own life and how you're acting to all your friends, you fucking asshole.
All right, relax. Who hurt you?
It was a neckbeard.
Oh no!
It was the one on my chin. It itches.
I don't understand beard.
Beard cover up horrible chin waggle. That's what beard do.
I guess I need more beard.
I have a beard.
I was gonna say though, because Dayton was, about ready to say a thing that would relate to a rating. I gotta explain the rating system. We use system of diapers, and 5 diapers is the maximum. 5 diapers is like a pinnacle film, like Caveman starring Ringo Starr, like top of the top best film ever that you could possibly watch.
Fucking Caveman.
Yeah. So how many diapers out of 5 do you think you'd give 0 charisma?
Look, I'm not trying to come in here and change your system, okay? I'm just saying the more diapers should be like the shittier the film, right?
No.
Is that confusing?
No, diapers are useful and help. They improve society. Listen, everybody makes fun of a diaper until they need one, okay?
I've got to say,
fair enough.
I kind of agree with Dayton.
No. If I spend all day watching movies, I can't walk away. I need the you don't understand.
Yeah, this is a 4 diaper movie. Took me 4 diapers to watch.
If I don't need to leave the theater and I have to stay and watch your movie and it requires me to wear a diaper, that shows the movie's fucking good, all right? I would submit myself to that humiliation, all right?
Then I retract my previous statement.
Yeah, you retracted.
Really, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go 3 diapers. I'm gonna subtract 1 because the ending fell apart, and 1 because they didn't go hard enough. But the other 3 are for everything else: character, set design, humor, comedies. I mean, there's a lot to like about the movie, but yeah, in my opinion, it just didn't take it far enough in either direction, as I've said. So 3 diapers out of 5. I think it's generous.
I like how you split up each diaper into like its separate category and were able to explain why you gave the score you did, because it's totally arbitrary to me. I just like, this is what I feel.
You've got to fill the diapers with something.
No,
do you not know how a diaper
the
works?
diaper was not...
My diaper runneth over.
Beautiful.
No, I completely agree with you. And I think I'd also say 3 out of 5 diapers for pretty much the same reasons.
I give it 3.5 diapers because I think that the characterization is above average. It's almost a 4, which is a really good movie.
That's fair, but I refuse to settle. I think that there was so much that was left undone, and they just kind of pushed a movie out there like, oh, it's gonna work. Also, we need Kickstarter money, and it still came out and just, didn't make any waves, and it didn't make any waves for a reason. So,
gross worldwide. Guess how much money it made, without looking.
12 million.
Okay, Jeremy.
500,000.
Jesus.
So, you're both way fucking wrong. $9,417.
Wow.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Their fundraising target was 15,000, but raised over 25,000 in 30 days. So.
Yeah, and they made $9.5 grand back.
Now I feel bad for the movie. It's like a little...
But it was Indiegogo, so they kept all the money.
Oh, yeah, they keep all the money.
That was just to get the movie out there.
But how much do you think it cost to shoot this movie?
Do you think they spent $25,000?
They spent more than that.
Definitely.
You think?
Yes.
Dyken Matthews cost like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
50
dude.
bucks.
Listen, I don't want to
50
put a price on Dyken Matthews' head, all right?
Oh, I said daikon like a fucking vegetable. Daikon Matthews.
Delicious. He has a radish for a head, yes.
They probably spent like $500,000 on this movie.
That's
Really? Where
a
do you
conservative
see-
estimate, isn't it?
Like
Really?
all said and done. Well, do you think they own the cameras?
No, but you can rent that shit for cheap.
Yeah, I know. Well, relatively
And
cheap.
if you're
I mean,
using
and the
Nerdist
lights,
shit,
and
if they're the
sound,
ones producing it, who's to say they
and
didn't already
production
have...
crew.
Wait, did you hear what
Well,
I said?
I don't know how
though?
long it took. If it took them like 3 days to shoot this movie, they probably could have made it for like 50 grand.
Mom, you should be resting.
With somebody check up on me every now and then, I wouldn't have to come out here. My body could have been decomposing for the last 4 hours for all you knew.
They obviously didn't take 3 days to shoot it because there's so many plot lines that go nowhere. It's pretty obvious that it was stuck in development hell for at least like a little bit. You know
Now
what I mean?
really want to know how long it took and how much they spent.
They fucking dug a hole in the backyard and they were like, we're never talking about this bitch again.
Well, too bad I'm making a video about it, and I'm forcing other people to talk about it with me.
All right, wrap it up.
There's nothing to wrap up. That's pretty much it. Oh, okay. I guess we'll do this. Let's be professional and say, hey, Dayton, plug your shit.
Yeah, plug your shit again. We already did, but you know, we like you, so do it again.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? I think this reflects well on me. If you'd like more of my bullshittery, you can check me out over on Twitter at Dayton Does. I've also got Dayton Does Gaming on YouTube, which is currently defunct, but we're going to bring it back around. And then there is ReddX, where I talk about neckbeards and other general cringy topics. We're doing pretty good over there, about to hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you'd like, pop on by. There's also probably some people from my channel that are watching here. So if that's you, then say poopy ball butt shits. No, not shits. Yeah, shits. Go ahead. You guys got a filter?
What? No.
No.
Yes,
no.
but only for like words that would get us banned or something.
So you can't say like, no.
Yeah, go ahead. I won't
you know
edit
that-
any of this out.
No, you know that thing you feel like you shouldn't say? That's probably what we would edit out.
Good. Then just edit like most of what I said out and we'll be fine. I've got an image to uphold, you know? I'm a pillar of the community these days. If I want to get invited to YouTube Rewind 2021, then I have to...
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry I brought that up. It's opening old wounds.
Will Smith will be back, and he'll be like, haha.
Thanks for listening. Hope you have a great afternoon, because you probably slept throughout the day because you were up all night thinking about the cool stuff that you wrote about when you were in high school. All the poetry and all of those cool character ideas that you had, your OCs.
That manifesto.
Yeah. Your photocopies of Anarchist Cookbook that you keep under your bed.
Yeah, that Google Doc with all those pictures.
Remember that cleric that I had and he fought it and everybody
that was the
liked it?
best.
Yeah, you really didn't expect it.
That's what I'm going to remember.
Remember when I was sleeping on your floor and you woke me up by throwing an empty can? Remember that?
This movie is funny.
It was funny.
It's pretty good.
I give it that.
All right. All right. Let's go away now. Let's stop recording.
Okay.
Hey, check out We Ruin Movies on YouTube, Spotify, Twitter, and WeRuinMovies.com. Thanks.